Sorry about being late, you guys. This is another installment, episode 15 of Uptown After Dark. Can't believe it. We are at episode 15 already. Tonight, we are going to be talking about dating from the recycling bin. So, it's definitely going to be a good one tonight. I'm going to wait a few minutes and allow some people to log on. Definitely, if you know anybody who hasn't seen Uptown After Dark, please share this link, like, subscribe, share. Trying to make this content and this brand grow. So please, like I said, share for all the people that you know who are a part of the After Dark crew. You know what I'm saying? I expect you guys to, you know, hit me in the comments. Let me know what's good. Let me know what you're doing. Let me know if you got any questions. Let me know what you're drinking. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. As always, tonight I'm sipping on some Douce and some lemonade. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to keep it going tonight. So, dating from the recycling bin. That is tonight's topic. And dating from the recycling bin is something that I'm not gonna say something that everyone has done, but most have definitely done, especially when people had to go through this pandemic, pandemonium, panorama, whatever you want to call it, whatever word you've used to remix it. There are definitely some people who have dipped back into the recycling bin because when you going through the pandemic, we not outside like we are now. See, we just now at the place where we back to being outside, and when you outside, you get to mix and mingle and meet new people. But when you're inside, and all you could do is Netflix and chill, Hulu and chill, whatever you would have. Do people Disney Plus and chill? I don't know if people Disney Plus and chill, but whatever streaming service you're using, um, if that's how you was entertaining yourself during the pandemonium, panorama, you know, that's what you were doing. And for some people who weren't out there, I mean, some people turned to uh, dating apps during the pandemic and attempted to meet people new, whether it was for actual interaction, whether it was just for socialization or attention, and then others went right back into the recycling bin. Because the recycling bin is definitely a safe place, right? People go to the recycling bin simply because when it comes down to interacting with someone new, and I think most people would agree that right now, when you look at the dating pool that people have to choose from, it got bird poop in it, it got urine in it, it got little brown sharks. The dating pool is nasty, right? Most people would agree that the pool that we have to date from, it's not really that good. Um, and because it's not that good, some people will choose to go to that good old trusty recycling bin because you know what's in it, right? And some people would rather trust the devil that they know rather than the devil that they don't know. Um, for some people, they find a safety in that, right? I will definitely say that if the devil that you know versus the devil that you don't know comes with toxicity, you might want to second guess dipping back into that recycling bin. But sometimes it's simply a situation where uh, you date someone, and due to the timing and the things that you had going on in your life, you and whoever this person is that you attempted to recycle, like when y'all was talking to each other before, when you were dating before, a relationship, situationship, whatever you had with this person before, it didn't work simply because the timing wasn't right. And then, you may recycle and attempt again, and the timing might be right on time. You never know. Plus, one of the benefits of dipping to the recycling bin is because you already know that this person is already interested, because either y'all were screwing around before, or at the very minimum, they shot before. Maybe they shot, and they wasn't 100% successful. Y'all didn't get a chance to get into some adult fun time. But you knew there was an interest. Maybe I hung out a couple of times, went on a couple of dates. The vibe was there, the energy was there, but y'all never got a chance to seal the deal. Or they did seal a deal. You know it's good. Um, Maybe you know it's so good. Maybe that person touched the bottom. And if you don't know what the bottom is, that is the bottom of that vagina. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they penis went in so deep that it touched your soul, and you was just like, I need that. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa, fellas. You know what I'm saying? You know, women always talking about how they soul snatching brothers. They sucking on men, giving them two hand twists. They soul snatching, and maybe you just needed to call her back because she snatched your soul, and you just like, you know what, this new stuff out here ain't really good, but I know that Lisa is reliable. Lisa got a long tongue and she nasty. Lisa don't need no PF Shanks. You know what I'm saying? Lisa don't need, no no fancy restaurant. You don't need to take her to Panda. You take her to Panda Express. Not Panda, but Panda Express. And she is with it. She is with the shits. You get a bottle of Henny and some Panda Express, and she is with all the shit that you need for the goddamn night. Um, like I said, there are a lot of people that were, attempting to recycle during the pandemic, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think sometimes the comfort of someone that can definitely put your mind at ease. And like I said, tonight we're talking about, dating from the recycling bin. We're talking about the different reasons why. None of these are in any particular order of hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? We're just talking about the different reasons why a person might choose to date from the recycling bin. Um, Now, this next reason that someone might choose to date from the recycling bin, I don't want to speak for all women. I am definitely not the voice of the melanated sisters. This is just my theory, my own personal thoughts. Um, I feel like some women date from the recycling bin because they would rather recycle some good old reliable penis than to add a new body to their body count, right? Men don't really care about adding bodies to a body count. So three things that guys always want something new of. Guys always want a new car, some new Jordans, and some new coochie. Those things always usually stand pretty firm. New car, new Jordans, and some new coochie. You know what I'm saying? Dudes is not gonna turn down any of those three things if they knew. Matter of fact, dudes like new coochie so much that a brother could have some good old, reliable, recycle coochie waiting for him at 9 o'clock. Get a call at 8:45 for some new coochie. All of a sudden, he got excuses for why he can't meet up with 9 o'clock. He like, he ain't got no pets, but he like, my dog died, my fish died. Uh, I just bought a ferret, and he need mouth to mouth resuscitation. He come up with the dumbest excuses in the world to get to this new coochie because, like I said, dudes just like new coochie. So I mean, I feel like women, on the other hand, not all women, but there are some women who would rather recycle and go back and dip into, some good old new coochie. I mean, some good old reliable penis rather, than to add a new body to her body count, just because, some women adding a new body to their body count makes them feel dirty. They don't want to do it, and that is their prerogative. Because no one should judge you for recycling, unless, like I said, you recycling has some sort of the person that you're recycling with. If there's toxic elements to your relationship, then you are better off leaving it alone, no matter how good the penis may be or how good the vagina may be. It's not worth it if it's gonna damage your spirit, and especially if it's a person that you needed time to heal from and time to have some personal growth from, and then dealing with this person, recycling with this person is going to disturb your peace, disturb your inner peace, and disturb your growth. It is not worth it just for some sex. Right. That is the PSA. Do not recycle if it's going to disturb your inner peace. It's not worth it just for some sex. Um, but the other benefits to going into the recycling bin, this person knows your body. They may know how to, like I said, hit that bottom, make you orgasm. If you're a dude, the woman may know how to snatch your soul. And, you know, life is too short for boring sex. So if your options are the possibility of something new and it's super questionable, or some good old reliable adult fun time that's not boring, don't do it. It could be that the person used to be safe with, I mean, somebody that you know and you have history with should make you feel safe. That is literally the whole point of recycling, right? Because there is a safety with dealing with someone from your past, somebody who knows you, somebody who you're interested. You don't have to worry about um, your the all of the insecurities that come with new. You don't have, if you're a dude, right? You don't have to worry about the courting process because you did it already. You already courted her. You already had the chance to know her. So you don't got it. It should be a lot easier to just slide up in them drawers when you recycling, because you already laid the groundwork for yourself. And if you already laid the groundwork for yourself and you guys were intimate, then it should be that much easier. Um, and then you can take the time and reminisce on the good times that you had with this person, and not focus on the bad times and the reasons why it didn't work, and just focus on the here and the now. um Plus, I think, if you're, depending on where you're at in your life, and you just want something that has no emotional attachments, recycling might be the best way to go, because you can get what you want from it. You get the sex, and then you keep it moving, right? Um, and you and this person can literally have this understanding where y'all know, like, listen, this is just gonna be sex. I don't got time for nothing else, but I got an itch that needs to be scratched. I want you to scratch it. That's what it is. Um, and if you guys can navigate and negotiate that understanding, then that is a benefit to recycling. Even though recycling, I think I'm gonna wait to the end, and I'm gonna talk about the dark side of recycling, because I definitely feel like there are positives to dating in the recycling bin, and there's also, like most things in life, there's the yin and the yang, right? There's the good, and then there's the dark side too. I'm gonna wait to the end, and I'm gonna talk about the dark side of dating in the recycling bin. You know, now if you live in a small poor town, not a big rich town like New York City. That was a Power reference for you guys then, who watch Power. Big rich town, small poor town. Anyway, um, if you live in a small town, dating from the recycling bin might be the way to go, just because the town is small. You ain't got time to search outside of your demographic. Like if you live in like Osling, New York, or you live in Mount Vernon, Mount Vernon is like 4 square miles. You can walk the whole town of Mount Vernon within an hour's time, right? Listen, there's a lot of dipping and dabbing, moving around, moving and shaking. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things going on in Mount Vernon. You know what I'm saying? You know, so it could happen. You know what I'm saying? Like it might. You never know. Um, uh, but it's easy. You know what I'm saying? It's easier when you're in a small town. You know what it is. You do what you do. You handle your business. It is what it is. Like I said, another one of the benefits. No courting, the time constraints. You know what I'm saying? You make it quite easy for yourself when you recycle. I mean, everybody don't do it. There are some people that when they done, they done. They don't take step backwards. And kudos to those who have the willpower and the strength and the discipline to say to themselves, once they are done with the person they are done, they don't take steps back. But for those who don't, it is what it is. I think, sometimes you got to recycle just to help get yourself through a breakup, though, right? I mean, there are people that believe that the easiest way to get over someone is to get under someone else, right? So if you're going through a rough breakup and you don't want to be sitting there crying your eyes out, thinking about the woman you broke up with, the man you broke up with, dip in that recycle bin. Get up under somebody old, you know what I'm saying? Somebody old and comforting that, you know what I'm saying, know how to work the middle. Somebody that know how to uh work that thing and get to the bottom. Somebody that's a certified soul snatcher. You know what I'm saying? It might help you get through a tough chapter in your life. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's really a community service when you think about it. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Uh, you know, just don't turn your if you're gonna use somebody old, somebody that you're recycling, to get over an ex, don't turn them into a rebound. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that. That, like I said, that's part of the dark side of recycling. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when recycling is good when you can minimize the emotional attachment to the person that you're dealing with, but when the emotions start to get involved, and listen, sometimes that's half the reason that you recycle, right? Because that person was able to leave an impression, and they might have left an emotional impression on you. They might have left a physical impression on you, or they might have left a combination of both. They left an emotional and a physical impression on you. So that way, so when you're in a dry spell, that's the one out of all of the people that you may have, depending on what your dating history is like, that's the person that you gravitate to because they were able to leave that impression on you, whether it just be emotional or just be physical or the combination of the two. But the impression that they left was so strong that you want to feel that feeling again. And I think that that's when it can kind of get sketchy because if the impression that they left is more than just a physical impression, if you recycle and then that emotional impression attempts to resurface, it can be difficult navigating through that territory because now you're dipping back into old waters. You don't really know how to proceed because you don't know whether this is just supposed to be a physical thing. Are you re-attempting on trying to get back to where you were if this was somebody that you were serious with? Like you gotta really tread carefully when recycling because you can end up messing yourself up just by not being open and honest and having the conversations that you should have. You know what I'm saying? If you're recycling, if you're gonna make recycling a continuous practice, there's nothing wrong with stopping after uh, a month or so in and saying, "What are we doing here?" Just so you can get some clarity, so you can know whether this is just a smash and dash, whether what I'm saying he's just there, he's like a delivery service. He said he's giving you your dick dash. I'm saying he's here to drop it off. He's giving you your Uber Beats. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, you know, you looked online, you saw his fuck facts, you know, um, and you saw his rating. You know what I'm saying? You looked online, you saw his rating, you realized his rating is still good. You know what I'm saying? You looked at his sex Yelp. You know what I'm saying? You see, he still got 5 stars out there. You know what I'm saying? You want to jump back into it. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Now, sometimes people recycle because, like I said, timing is important when dating, right? Sometimes sometimes you see growth in a person, right? You might have been dealing with a brother and he was on fries at McDonald's, you know, and you might have invested a year into this brother. The whole year he was on fries at McDonald's. Then y'all broke up because you just was like, I don't see no future with this brother. He's a whole year he's still on fries at McDonald's. And then next thing you know, year and a half, 2 years pass, and now I was gonna make a comment to American reference, talk about now he's mopping the floor. Nah, but now he's the franchise owner, right? You know what I'm saying? Or he took some time, he applied for some city jobs. Now he's working for MTA, or he's working for sanitation. He getting that real guap now, right? Um, and you like, wow, you know what I'm saying? This brother done came a long way. You just see the growth of him. You see come a long way. He went from being in his mama's basement. Now he got his own crib. He got his own whip, and you like, ooh, I want that own thing back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he may look at you with the side eye like you wasn't rocking with me when I wasn't. And when you did, it's just that his progression didn't come fast enough for you. But now, you see that he done invested in himself and you see the growth and you like, yo, you know what? I think now might be the right time. Um, there's nothing wrong with that. I think timing is important when dating, right? So you could date a person and now might not be the right time, but next year, 2 years from now, if you run into each other and you both are single, that may be the right time for y'all, right? So now we're gonna talk about the dark side of the recycling bin, right? So as I said earlier, right? Um, if there is any sort of toxicity attached to this person that you're attempting to recycle with, right? Like all they did was break you down, berate you, um, make you feel less than, make you feel insecure, but yet the person that was doing all this provided you with the best sex you ever had in your life, right? And that goes for male and female, right? If you're a brother, she could have been breaking you down, berating you, emasculating you, making you feel like you were nothing, like, because toxicity is not just specific to men or specific to women. It's specific to the toxic person that displays whatever toxic behaviors, right? Um, but if you are going to recycle and go back to someone toxic simply because although they were toxic, even when you were in that relationship, you just looked forward to that makeup sex because the thrill of that was so exhilarating to you that you just loved it. Love yourself enough to know that you don't need to recycle with anyone who is going to disturb your inner peace, disturb your growth, and disrupt any of the positive changes that you made for yourself. Because like I said, that is the dark side of recycling. Another part of the dark side of recycling is there are some people who live in the recycle bin. And what I mean by they live in the recycle bin, they may have a person who is lingering around, someone who they catch in between relationships, and they have this understanding between them. Like, if they ain't dealing with nobody, that they just gonna go back to this person, and that person is just gonna scratch that itch and fulfill their needs. Meanwhile, this person has literally survived their last three long-term relationships, right? This person has been there through the thick and the thin, right? Um, if you are dealing with if you have one of those, just understand that this person can literally be the difference or the reason as to why you are not able to sustain any positive relationships or have any forward momentum in your relationships moving forward, because you can't expect to grow and water and nurture your new relationship fully if you still have this other person. And like I said, this other person, you may not have any contact or very minimal contact with them when you're in a relationship, because when you're in a relationship, you're all about your relationship. But if that person's numbers is in your phone, and it's like literally, it's like an emergency dick in a glass or emergency vagina in a glass, and you know that at any minute, if you call them, they're gonna come running, and it's just gonna be as simple as, oh, you gonna pull up to the crib, or you gonna meet up at the tally, and y'all gonna do what y'all gonna do. Just know that you're probably not giving 100% to the current relationship that you're in, because you still have this person that you have been mildly entertaining. Because like I said, even if they don't communicate with you heavy when you're in a relationship, if you know this person has access to you, right, then that could literally be the reason why this person that you go back and forth with, you might have been going back and forth with them for 10 years. In 10 years, they just been around just waiting to just pop in and out of your life because you just make it easy for them. And this person has been around and has literally watched you go through two, maybe three serious relationships in this 10-year period. And they don't care. Listen, like, because it's crazy, because that's also probably the person that when you in between relationships, you talking to about all your struggles, and they are being a friend, but meanwhile they just there waiting for their turn, right? That is definitely the dark side of the recycling bin, right? So I think that if you want to have positive relationships and you want to be able to nurture and because I forget who said this saying, right? I don't want to. I wish I could tell y'all gave me this quote, but it's definitely very accurate, right? Like, the grass isn't greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. So if you are going to water and nurture a relationship that you are currently and actively in, then the grass is going to be greener there, right? If you are putting a little bit of water here, a little bit of water there, a little bit of, then don't expect things to grow and blossom and be fruitful where you want it if you're not distributing the water and the sunlight and the nutrients properly. You got to put the nutrients where they belong. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, that's the dark side of the recycle bin. Because if you're one of those people that you live in a recycle bin, like you got somebody that's on constant standby, then you never really get a chance to put 100% of the positive energy that you need to put into your new or current situation if you got whatever person on standby. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, this is also part of the dark side of the recycle bin, is that sometimes that person who is being recycled is somebody's baby mother or baby father, right? There are people that believe, I'm not one of those people, but there are people that believe that if you have a child with someone, as long as that child is under the age of like 5 years old, there's a strong possibility that you might be dipping and dabbing and still messing with the BM or the baby father. That person has been there. You got a connection with them. Clearly, y'all already been hunching because y'all made a kid together, right? And if you are in a new relationship and you are still dipping and dabbing with your baby mother or your baby father, of course you're not going to be able to have a sustainable new relationship that is healthy if you still recycling with your baby mother or your baby father, right? Because like I said, that's the dark side of the recycle bin, right? Now I will tell you that if once the relationship is over and you decide that you're going to co-parent, the healthiest way to co-parent is to not have any sort of inappropriateness with the person that you conceive this child with. You know what I'm saying? So, and that goes for men and women. So there can't be no flirting, there can't be no fucking, there can't be no inappropriate text, there can't be no nudes dropped off, there can't be any appropriateness of any kind if you want to be able to effectively co-parent, right? If you are afraid for your old lady and your new lady to meet because you got a kid with your old lady, then 9 times out of 10, it's probably because there is some inappropriateness going on. And the reason I said 9 times out of 10 is because, listen, there's always the possibility that one of the parents involved is just a crazy person and they don't get the hint and they still are holding on to something that will never come to fruition. They're holding on to the possibility of a relationship that will never happen. And if that's the type of person that you're dealing with, then God bless you. Pray on it. Pray for yourself. Pray for the person involved. Pray for your child. And hope that y'all could come through it smoothly. But usually, 9 times out of 10, if you are a stand-up father, you should be able to sit down with your child's mother and sit down with your new lady and say, hey, that's the mother of my child. I need you to show her respect. You sit down with the mother of your child. This is my new lady. I see a future with her. I need you to show her some respect. And if you are doing what you need to do as a man properly, you should be able to lead and navigate through that situation appropriately, as long as there is no uh, inappropriateness happening. But if you are attempting to, when you come through to pick up the kid, you know what I'm saying? And listen, sometimes women, they try brothers, right? You know, a brother come through to pick up his little one. She want to come to the door with some boy shorts and a wife beater on. Woman, you better put on a house coat. Don't be trying to tempt me, because all you gonna do is if the brother fall for the bait, all she gonna do is just wait and hold that and use it against him. Brothers don't fall for the trap. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa. You know what I'm saying? You know, dude. You know he come through. Don't let him come through. It's summertime now. You coming through with the gray sweatpants. You know what I'm saying? Swinging. You know what I'm saying? Or you coming through trying to offer some money so you can get some honey. You know what I'm saying? Listen, don't fall for the trap. You know what I'm saying? Because next thing you know, you still recycling and you still humping around with your ex, wondering why, you know, you ain't got no peace in your new relationship, wondering why, you know, your new lady always feeling, why your baby mother always looking at me like that? Because they still fucking. That's why she looking at you like that, because they still fucking. You know what I'm saying? You know, you try to come through, bring some McDonald's for your kid. You know what I'm saying? She got 3 other kids. She wonder why you ain't bring the McDonald's for the other ones. Cause that ain't my responsibility, and we ain't hunching no more. So I ain't got to bring no McDonald's for other nappy ass. Listen, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Um, I think that is very bad and very sad, and people should not use social media for evil, right? Because she says she got 3 other kids. That means I should have seen at least a minimum of 2 other videos. Listen, if you wanted to expose the dude that came through with the McDonald's, I want to see three. Since you got 3 other kids, I want to see 3 times as much energy for the baby father or fathers that didn't do shit, that didn't come through with no McDonald's, no Popeyes, no Arby's, no Checkers, no Sonic, no Kennedy Fried Chicken, no Texas Fried Chicken, no Wendy's. They ain't come through with nothing. They ain't come through with no cold cuts, no boss head. They ain't come through with no lunch meat. They ain't come through with no White Castle. They ain't come through with nothing. They ain't come through with no Chinese food. They come through with nothing. But yet this brother that come through with McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? He said, I'm loving it and I want to share this with my child. You come through with nothing. Somebody said I'm naming unhealthy stuff. Well, I mean, listen, everybody ain't bringing their kid just salad. Everybody ain't bringing their kid Whole Foods. Everybody ain't bringing their kid Trader Joe's or whatever the other healthy options are. People not doing that. You know what I'm saying? And listen, right? If he was coming through with the healthy, that would have been more. It's cost a whole lot of money to eat healthy. So you trying to feed 4 nappy ass black kids some goddamn healthy shit? Listen, he'd have probably spent $60 on 4 meals for them kids. So McDonald's, listen, he could have pulled up with 2 20 pieces and he'd have been fine. 2 20 pieces, a couple fries, he'd have been all right. You know what I'm saying? You know, You thought that was the saddest post that you've seen in a long time. The ignorance was horrific. Um, I agree. I thought it was one of the saddest things I've seen in a long time. But people always want to try to expose people. People think that, people want to use social media for evil. Um, I don't think exposing somebody, she could have had a private conversation with him, but she wanted to be cute and go viral. But I don't know if all y'all peeped this when she had her video where she was responding back. I think if your kids don't have nothing to eat, your hair and makeup and lashes shouldn't be done in your response video. You know what I'm saying? I think that if you talking about, oh, I don't get my food stamps to whatever, and you want to make a response video talk about, yeah, I'm the baby mother in the video and blah blah blah. If your kids don't got no food, why the hell your hair done and your makeup done and your lashes done? You know what I'm saying? That costs money last time I checked. But anyways, I digress. That is part of the dark side of the recycling bin. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, tonight's topic was dating in the recycling bin. We talked about, you know, the the good side. We talked about the dark side. And hopefully this information, I mean, if you are someone who is dating in a recycling bin, this can help you navigate through the territory that you're in and help you figure out what you need to do with yourself. Tonight, as I close out this episode, we got another installment of Ask Uptown. Sometimes people, they want advice, they want to hear what I got to say. Um, I'm entertained by it as well. I hope y'all entertained by it. Listen, I am not certified in nothing, but I give pretty good advice. You know what I'm saying? I'm the best advice giver there is. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if you have some advice that you need, you know what I'm saying? You are find yourself in a relationship quandary, some relationship turmoil, you know, shoot me an email, um, at this is uptown radio at gmail.com. You could, holla at me in my DM on Instagram at this is uptown radio or uptown after dark, or you can email me at uptownafterdark.com. There's a comment section. If you have any advice that you would like, any comments, anything you want me to talk about, please feel free to let me know. Uptownafterdark.com is the best way to go. You can see all of the episodes. We got a merch store there where you can buy some of our lovely merchandise and, keep this thing rolling. So tonight's Ask Uptown. Dear Uptown, what are your thoughts about hall passes? Can they help or can they hurt a relationship? So first, for those of you who do not know, let's define what a hall pass is, right? So a hall pass is essentially when you are in a committed relationship and your mate allows you the ability to step outside of your relationship and have consensual sex with someone else without there being any consequences or repercussions for you. They're not gonna fuss about it. They're not gonna cuss you out. They're not gonna get mad. They're not gonna attempt to disrupt the peace that you had in your relationship. They just essentially allow you a get out of jail free card. So now someone said that if you need a hall pass, you shouldn't be in a relationship, right? And I respect that opinion. However, I believe that the two people that are in a relationship get to dictate the rules and set the limitations and set the boundaries and the conditions for their relationship. So if they have a discussion and they determine that it's okay for them to and participate in hall passes, participate in threesomes, participate in group activity. If this is the boundaries that they set for their relationship, I don't think anyone who is outside of their relationship should judge what the two people who are primary in their relationship deem to be acceptable for them. If it is not acceptable for you or not acceptable for you and your man, that's cool. I don't think we should. I think a lot of times we get caught up in judging people based upon mirroring ourselves in what we do and thinking, well, I don't like this, I don't do this, so I don't think that they should do this. If you're in an open relationship, then a hall pass is cool. I think there's a difference between, by definition, I think there's a difference between an open relationship and a hall pass, right? If you're in an open relationship, that means that it's pretty much a free for all, right? You know, you as long as whether first you set the parameter, the boundaries of if you want to know on a continuous basis what your other person is doing, and then they just do them, and either you agree that you're gonna know or you agree that you're not gonna know. A hall pass is, let's say you're in this committed relationship and you either it's a one-time hall pass, or there are some people who once a year they allow their mate to step outside, experience a piece of variety, and then come back home. Um, because for all the people watching, right, and eventually on Uptown After Dark, we're gonna get into the serious conversation of monogamy, right? Um, but the reality is, at least from my perspective and my understanding, is that monogamy isn't as easy as it appears to be. And if that were the case, there wouldn't be so many people out here screwing around and people cheating, right? There wouldn't be somebody. There's never a shortage of men or women willing to be a side piece. So if monogamy was so easy, there wouldn't be. People need to stop believing in the fairy tale that we were programmed to believe, that monogamy is this easy thing, that once you find the person that you love, that all of a sudden all of the lust and attraction to other human beings is supposed to dissipate from your brain. That is not a realistic thing, at least from my perspective, right? So I think that if monogamy was as easy as people would like to pretend it is, there wouldn't be so many people out here cheating. So if you and your mate discuss it and you decide that you want to do a one-time hall pass, or you want to do an annual hall pass once a year, and you could always say, right, just because you offer the person the hall pass, right, doesn't mean that they necessarily have to take it. But if you offer your man or your woman the hall pass, you could also tell them, you know what, you have this hall pass, but I don't want to know about it. You use your discretion. Either you use it and you don't use it. And but if that's the boundary that you set for your relationship, and then you find out that the person cashed in their hall pass, your relationship isn't going to end over it because you accepted it, right? You're not going to throw away years of peace. You're not going to throw away the fact that you guys got a home together and you guys may have started a business together. You may have attempted to build an empire together, and now people cheat because they are searching for something outside of themselves. I disagree. I think that people cheat because it's fun to do bad things. I think sometimes people want to make the truth more complicated than it actually is. It is fun to do bad things. It feels good to do bad things. And cheating is definitely one of those bad things that feels fun as fuck while you're doing it. And sometimes it's just that simple, right? Now, the question that I have to the people who are watching right now is, would the hall pass be acceptable if your mate was suffering for some sort of terminal illness, like if there was cancer involved and they no longer, because of chemo and all that, they no longer had the capacity, the physical capacity to engage with you sexually. You still have your needs, and they told you, you know what? I know I can't do that for you right now because I'm going through chemo, I'm sick, whatever the case may be. It is okay for you to go and get those needs satisfied outside of this relationship. Would you take the hall pass, or would you say, you know what, I'm just gonna ride it out with my mate, and since they can't have sex, I'm not gonna have sex either? That's what I want to know from you people. Would you do you feel like that is an acceptable hall pass situation, or are you just totally against the hall pass? Because I mean, like I said, monogamy isn't as easy as pretending to people. It's fun to do bad things. Sometimes it's just that simple. I don't think it's as simple as someone, they're searching for some, no, they're searching for some new pussy because they feel good. They searching for some new dick because maybe after 20 years and the sex ain't hitting like it used to be, they want to feel a different sensation. Because sex and love ain't the same thing, right? It's like when you're a little kid and you steal a cookie, right? I you wouldn't say to yourself, "Oh, once a thief, always a thief," because you stole a cookie at 6. So someone said if their mate is dying, wanting to cheat would be the last thing on your mind. Now, maybe you are some sort of robot and you lack just regular, normal human emotion. But even if your mate is sick, you might actually want to feel, you might want the physical interaction just so you can feel something different other than the pain that you feel for your mate, right? Because it's like your mate, they're sick, they're paralyzed, whatever they're going through, and you see them in pain. You know you can't do anything for them. You aren't experiencing the same intimacy that you used to experience with this person, and you may honestly just want to experience intimacy so physically you can feel something besides the pain, so you can keep yourself on track. Because the touch and the desire to connect with another human being doesn't go away even when you can't do it with the one that you love, right? I think that is a very at for lack of a better word, robotic approach to feeling. Like, I understand that, like, I'm not saying that's supposed to be the first thing on your mind, like, oh yeah, your mate gets sick, all right, let me go find some new penis, or let me go find some new vagina. But if you're in the hospital with them every day, you're caring for them, you're you're working extra hours to try to pay financial bills, you know what I'm saying, that can do wear and tear on you mentally, and you might just want to feel the touch of another human being just to put yourself at ease. Okay. You know, but I mean, listen, if you are able to do it, you know what I'm saying, uh, God bless you. I don't think that just because another person might feel a different way that we should condemn them because they feel something different than us. I think that's one of the biggest problems in humanity, period, is that, you know, if somebody doesn't agree with us, we want to condemn them or put some sort of label, negative label on them, when it's just they have a difference of opinion. Sometimes it's just that simple, right? You are entitled to your opinion and your belief, whatever it is. And if someone feels differently, that is okay as well. But there are some people that if their mate was sick, listen, and what do you do when your mate gives you the blessing? Like, it's okay. Like they know they sick, they know they on their last legs, and they're like, yo, I want you to still live life. I don't want you to be stuck on just thinking about me. If they give you the blessing, then how can it be wrong? Right? I don't think it would be wrong, period. But if you get the blessing, it definitely can't be wrong if your mate gives you the blessing. Especially like how many years if you're dealing with somebody with a physical disability, or if you are with somebody that it don't even got to be as serious as uh you know cancer or stroke. What if you are just simply dealing with somebody that suffers from erectile dysfunction? Like you love this person, you married this person, you had kids with this person, you started a side business with this person, y'all own your home together, you've been with them X amount of years, they're your best friend, you don't want to leave them, but sexually, they just can't give it to you because they have, the man has erectile dysfunction, right? What are you supposed to do then? Like, the crazy thing about it is, right, is that most, at least to my knowledge, most of the people who watch this program are approaching the age where you fast forward 15 years, these could be real issues for you. Um, and I think that people have to be honest with themselves as they transition into their older years. How are you prepared to handle potential obstacles that may come your way? Right? Because I mean, I feel like most people where we're at right now, right? You in your late 30s, early 40s. Some of us might be in the late 40s, whatever, right? You're looking for relationships that have longevity attached to them, right? And that's cool, right? You're looking for longevity, you're looking for companionship, and companionship is definitely not solely based on sex. But if you have it should, you're right, it should be based on substance. But at the end of the day, even now, right? Fuck fast forward in 10, 50 years from now. Even now, nobody wants to be with somebody who's giving them the best sex that they ever had in their life, but treating them like shit. But you could be with a man that's treating you, or a woman that's treating you like a king or a prince or a king. If they're not able to satisfy you, the relationship that you are currently in right now will probably not have the longevity that you would like it to have if this person isn't able to satisfy you in present day right now. If the person you with ain't satisfy you and is not able to satisfy you, you ain't gonna see the next 10 years with them. That's the reality, right? So you got to figure out what you're gonna do if right here in the present if you ain't getting it, and in the future if things change. You still got to be able to figure it out. You got to be able to adapt. You got to be able to pivot. You got to be able to adjust. So I would just challenge you to be honest with yourself. Uh, See if within that honesty you can determine whether a hall pass is something that is for you. It may be for you, may not be for you. Um, there are definitely things that just aren't for everybody, but I think being honest with yourself, I always think is key. I think the biggest lies that people tell are the ones that they tell to themselves. And I'm going to end it right then and there. My name is Uptown, Ratchet Poppy, Mr. Receipts, whatever you want to call me. This is another episode of Uptown After Dark. I love you guys. Peace. See you next time.